All right, let's get started here. So this week, just continuing what we were doing last week. I think at the end of the last stream, I talked about potentially doing some smart contract stuff this week, but well, a couple things. One, I didn't get around to doing the pull request for logseek, and I don't think I'm quite ready to dig into the smart contract stuff. So that will wait for future streams. I still do plan on doing that. I think that's a good streaming topic, but um, yeah, it might be a couple weeks because there will be no stream next week because it's Thanksgiving holidays here in the U.S. Um, yeah, so let's dig in. So the where we left off here is the basic Arweave URL support was working, so you could do a AR:// transaction ID, and you could link to that. What is not yet working is having that in images, and then the code is just a little messy. I think we could clean it up a little bit, and hopefully get the whole thing ready to submit as a pull request in this stream. So we'll see if we get there, but that's the goal. Okay, so I am in the block file here, which is where all the transformation of the individual blocks in logseek happens. Well, most of it happens. I'm still not completely familiar with everything that goes on in logseek, but there's a lot of it in here anyway. So I dropped some to-dos in here for myself to remember where to pick up. So one thing I want to do, I don't think this will be the first thing. I think the first thing we should do is probably just try to get that that image support working. Although I say that, and maybe the image support would actually be clear. Yeah, let's actually do this. So for the cleanup, I have some really messy code in here that's reaching directly into the state and pulling config stuff out. I think what we want to do is put that into the config. Yeah, this thing, I think. So put this into the config CLJS. So like basically add a helper in here. Now what I don't know is where in this file it should go. I don't know how the files themselves are organized. So yeah, let's just look through this and see if they can find a good spot to plop that in here. Let's see, and are there examples of doing that, reaching into the state? Oh, I see. I see. Maybe it's actually in the state file we should put this. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be better. Let's go look at that. So, state. Yeah, so this is following the pattern of you have like one big atom, which for anyone not super familiar with Clojure, Clojure is primarily a functional language, but you need to have some way to manage things that change in a functional system. So Clojure provides a few primitives. The most popular is just the atom, which is basically like you have, just getting back to the state and references thing, an atom is a reference type, and it lets you put a value into it and then transform that value in some way to change the state of the reference. So you can say, okay, at time 1, the atom has a value of 1 in it. We're going to increment that. Time 2 has a value of 2, but of course anyone who's looking at the previous value still has that value, but if they get the new value out of the atom, it's changed. So it's just a way to transform or use stateful things in a functional language in a controlled way. And the main method for changing atoms is compare and swap. So that lets you manage concurrency. Probably more in the weeds than I want to get, but yeah, atoms are basically a way to have changing things, stateful things in a functional language like Clojure. Okay, so yeah, let's look through here. let's search for config. So surely there must be some config wrappers. Okay, there's a git config, subconfig. Okay, that's like a subscription. Custom CSS link. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're getting into, so this is similar to something we might want to do, right? So it's basically a function, custom CSS link that's just going to pull something out of the config. So we're going to want to do something like that. Actually, let's just plop that in here right after git config. So we'll just call this Arweave gateway URL. I'm not just debating a little bit what I want to call that, but that seems good for the moment. No, I probably should have done an audio check, but yeah, looks like fine. Looks like it's fine. Arweave gateway URL. Okay, so yeah, so we want to do Arweave, oops, Arweave gateway. I wonder if we should call this gateway URL. What does that look like in the, look like in here? Let's see. Where is that? Settings, advanced, general editor. There we go. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay. Custom CSS URL. Just wanting to see if there's any examples of how they name things. Interesting. I don't know. I'm going to leave it for now. It's a little bit of a bag shed. I think just to be consistent, I'll just call this Arweave gateway. That's the kind of thing where I can submit the pull request, and LogSeq folks can comment on it if they want me to change it. Okay, so we definitely need, okay, so we would do the git config here. All right, so that's must be very slow on the yeah, I think this is a big enough code base that it sort of taxes Clojure LSP. Yeah, there we go. So that's just my linter LSP thing in the background being slow. And I think def default, this, we need to look at where this goes. But I'll just put it here for now. So def default Arweave gateway. So I'll call this HTTPS arweave.net and default Arweave gateway. So Clojure has some interesting syntax for maps. Basically, keywords can act as functions on maps that look themselves up in the maps. So this is going to return a map. Keyword's going to look in there, and you can pass a third argument, which is the default if nothing is found in the map. So here I'm just declaring a var, which is arweave.net, and then we're looking up this in the map, and if we don't find it, then we return the default gateway. Okay, so let's see here. So do we have state? We probably have state, right? Yeah. Let me close this. Okay. So let's go down here. Oh, yeah, lots of to-dos that aren't mine. Comments. No, I guess I'll leave the PRNs for now. So in here, let's replace state Arweave gateway. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So we're taking out, yeah, let's go back and look at state. Git config, how does that work? Git config, at state config, repo URL. Ah, okay. Interesting. Git current repo URL. I guess the local here is actually the repo that it's coming from. So we're using a local repo. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that this key was somehow incorporated when we did git config, which you would think it would, but okay, so yeah. Okay, I think the other thing I don't know about is whether this regex is really the best way. I guess we could just pull this out into a function. Let's do that. Yeah, so I don't know if this regex is the thing we want to use to transform those, or if there's like a better way to construct. Well, let's look through some of the examples here. So what's the metadata? So you get config, metadata, href. So metadata is what? I guess we could just print that out. Link. Yeah, let's just do PRN config. I think I already did this one, which is just like stuff about the block, metadata. What I'm thinking is we can pass in config, metadata, and href, maybe, and then it doesn't really matter exactly how we implement it. We can pass that into a function that returns us the transformed URL. And then, you know, that's the thing where, like, if I'm doing it incorrectly, it's all in one place, and I can, you know, refactor it based on feedback on the pull request. Okay, so by the way, when you hear that little click, that's me muting. I think I need to get like a keystroke mapped, or like an external button or something that is not so close to my microphone for muting. Actually, yeah. While I'm thinking about it, I'll just write myself a note. Let's do mute. Key binding. Just improve the quality of my audio a little bit there. Okay. Yeah. So let's see what these look like, and see which ones we should pass in. So, let's see. Somewhere I probably still have. Maybe not. Maybe not. There we go. Okay. So if I look at. Okay, so we have the href, Arweave gateway. Yeah. First of all, is this pointing to the right place? Looks like it. Yeah. Okay, with the config. Did I not print out metadata? Oh, no, I printed out config twice. Metadata. Let's do that. Not seeing it yet. Wait, get localhost. Interesting. Don't know what that one's about. Okay. So we have config. Metadata is empty string. Well, it's unhelpful. Interesting, interesting. Just writing myself another note here. Secret note. Maybe you'll find out about it in future videos. Okay. So, okay, that's unsatisfying in terms of metadata. I actually would like to know what that is. So let's just put that, shouldn't have gone that far. All right, so metadata. Okay, there. I want to see where that's bound. I think it's maybe bound up at the top. That's for a link. Is that really? Are we? Is everything under link? I don't think so. Is it? Might be. Yeah. I guess it is. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's just put it there, right? So maybe we can see if we have metadata on any of these other ones. Okay, so it's basically attributes of the image. Interesting. Yeah, fascinating. Okay. Don't know that we need that. I think, let's see. So our config, though, what do we have in the config? What are these being destructured from? The link? URL label title. Okay, well, let's see. We have some examples of things that take image link. The image link takes the config, the URL. What's the URL? I mean, yeah, I mean, I know what it is conceptually, but I don't know. I think I'm thinking about this too much at this point. So let's just write a little helper, and we'll put it here. We'll call this. What should we call this? ARL. AR URL. Let's call it AR link. Let's call it AR link. Actually, no, because I think that would imply it's going to return a link. I'm just trying to figure out what the conventions are that they use in this thing. String of URL. Again, maybe I shouldn't think about it too much. Where did I put that thing? So, oh, did I not save? Yeah. Let's just do this. So AR to HTTP URL. Not probably the name it should have, but could bike shed this to death. Okay, so okay, yeah, so let's take this thing, and this will just give us one place where we can change it across all the places we use it. Okay, so we'll do that. Found an opening, really? Maybe? There we go, got it. Okay, so AR URL, HTTP URL. Well, I don't know. I mean, they do have some functions that are named that way. I think I would pick a different name. I view those arrow names as kind of lazy sometimes, and there's often a better name for those things. But well, it's not totally inconsistent. Yeah, so this should just become, and honestly, you know, it feels to me like what you might ultimately want is just something that transforms, like everywhere you're using a link, just transform it through one thing that can handle different link types. But that's beyond the scope of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so we'll do the AR URL to AR URL. Yeah, it's probably just being slow. Okay, AR URL to HTTP URL, and then we pass in. Let's see. Did I already get that? Yes, I did. We pass in the href. And we'll get rid of this guy. It's my linter being slow again. Okay. Did we compile? Yes, we compiled. Okay. Let's just refresh this thing just to make sure we're getting the latest here. And see what we have. Okay, history of closure. It is there. Is it pointing to the right thing? Yes, it is. Boom. Oh, you know what, though? Yeah, this is interesting. So I think this is maybe a slight issue with the gateway. I don't know. I think you should be able to add the extension there and have it still work. But when I add the extension, it's somehow messing up the output. So took off the extension and it works just fine. I think having the extensions on is appealing because then logseek can know something about the content without having to, you know, fetch a header, a content type header. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's yeah, let's go ahead. No, I'll leave that for now. I was going to say let's clean up some of this debugging stuff, but I'll just leave it for the moment, and we'll come back to it. Okay, so can we get images working? So I think first of all, let's see if this is PRN image. href. Just want to do a little bit of debugging here and see if this is the right spot to add it. I think it is, but I didn't actually check that yet. Oof, what's going on there? Something blow up? Interesting. Let's reload. Didn't really change anything as far as I can tell. Who knows? It's putting a this puts a lot of load on my system right now because I'm doing, you know, streaming. I have something watching files and compiling, and yeah. So if everything works, that's pretty spectacular in and of itself. Okay, let's see. Just checking my stream. I guess I should check my chat occasionally here. Check my audio. Yep, everything looks cool. Okay. All right. So if we go down here. Did we get a image href? No. Did not, it looks like. Let's see, I do see if I just do a filter on $config, I do get that, right? Yep, okay, filter works the way I expect. Okay, okay, so yeah, and there is an image here. I mean, it's not yeah, okay, so that must not be the right spot. Yeah, let's just search through here for image. Resizable image. Okay, where do we see this? Because this asset link, image link. I'm a little confused because I think this is the right spot. Let's see. Where is asset link? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm confused by that. Let's that really looks to me. Oh, maybe it didn't sync. Maybe that's it. Let me try to. Yeah, this thing maybe stalled out on me. That could be why my computer is spinning so much right now. Did that kill it? I don't know if that killed it. I think it did. I think it did. Okay. I think it may not have refreshed with the latest. We'll see. I would have thought that this would tell me if that were the case, but let's try that. Because if that's not the right spot, I'm a little confused. This is interesting too. I don't entirely know why that. Well, we're getting that error. Interesting. I did save this, right? Let me try. Definitely saved. Oh, do I have an error? No, that was a little while back. Huh. Very strange. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Don't know why it wasn't showing up till now, but href. Okay, I'm gonna go with that is the right spot. The logs is not showing up as frequently as I expected, so I don't know what to make of that, but we are definitely getting there for that image. So, yeah, okay, so let's do this. So we'll follow the pattern here. And then we can do AR URL to HTTP URL and then href. And with some luck, that should do it. I think this is probably, you know what, we don't, oh no, we do need that. Oh, we got to move up the, yeah, where's our AR URL? Got to move this thing up. Because closure does not do multipass compilations. Everything has to be defined in the file before it is defined or declared before it is used. I think I have an extra space in there somewhere, but whatever. We're gonna go with that for the moment. Okay, with some luck, that image should show up now. Maybe. No. Why not? Are we stuck again? Could be. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Nothing yet. Let's double check. Just make sure that this is going to the right place. Arweave https://arweave.net. Yep, that's that image I would expect to see there. Okay, interesting. Image href. So let's see, we are getting there. Oh, you know what? It could be that image href that is actually causing the yeah. Some of those error messages may be due to the image as opposed to the link. I was thinking it was the link. Okay, so we're not href ARAST. Where is that one? Oh, down here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we're not. See, we're compiling. Okay, yep. Well, what about this? Do we get here? I don't know. Let's find out. Do here and here. See what we get in there. Can't read local image file. I'm gonna do a reload here, see if that. Okay, we're getting there at least once. Let's see, image, so is that this one? Yeah, it definitely is. We're getting to here. Colon here. No. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, I'm confused by that. I wonder if this is just my development environment funkiness. Because that really looks like it should work to me. I mean, if we're getting here, let's just walk through this. So if we're getting here, we're getting into this image link. There's not a lot of branching in there. Oh, wait. Where? If, oh no, okay, that's fine. I was gonna say like this is if taking us down something, but no. Oh, it might be. So local asset. Let's look at that. That could be, it could be we're actually going down this path. I bet that's it. Yeah, let's look at config up here. So one of these, local asset. Local asset href. // Well, I guess let's just check that out. So it honestly doesn't make sense to me that it would go down here. If maybe I'm just misreading it though. So we'll say this is here 2, and this is here 1. Actually, let's just do local. Give these things slightly more meaningful names. Invalid keyword. No, just being slow. Okay. I think I might have seen the local flyby there. Remote. No? Okay. Well, let's see. Let's keep going. Local. Remote. Local. Oh, wait. If I saw remote, that means we got into that branch. Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Interesting. Okay, so if we're getting there and we're not seeing the image, what does that mean? Let's go ahead and inspect that and see if we can find what that's actually pointing at. If my computer, come on computer, you can do it. There we go. Okay. This guy, what do we have here? HTTPS Arweave. Oh, now. We are transforming it, but for some reason, that's not being rendered right. Why? Is it, is it like, why would that be? Let's see. Let's get rid of this with status 404. Okay. Let's try this. Let's reload. Maybe we can see the request here. Interesting. So that's coming through as text HTML. I wonder, what if we put a .png on the end of that? Would that help at all? No. So we get a 302. We're getting a redirect. Fine. This is the actual one. So I put that directly into the browser. What do I get? Not found. Okay. What's the difference? Oh, Arweave dev. Why are we going to Arweave dev? Oh, net, not nev. Oh, okay. Arweave. Oh, I think I'm, yeah, I think I'm messing with myself here. I didn't realize. Okay. I wonder if that's been the problem the whole time. Okay, yeah, so I think I was experimenting at the end of the last stream, just double checking that this, that is having the right effect by switching that to Arweave dev. I wonder if that's why the .pdf is not working too. I'll go back and find that. That could be. Yeah, I bet it'll work now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see what's going on. Did I have to save it? I don't know if I saved it. Well, we'll see. Let's look at the request here, see what happens. Okay, I got 302. Can I do a filter? Does this work? NS. Oh, okay. So is it that? Oh, I bet that's messing us up now. Yes, success. Okay, so the extensions, I don't know why that feels like a bug in the gateway, to be honest, but All right, awesome. So we can embed images now. It's pretty cool. This feels just about ready to do a pull request, to be honest. I think there's stuff in here that probably needs to be changed or at least moved around, but it's the kind of thing where I don't know what it should look like. So I would rather just do a pull request, get the conversation started, and hopefully I always feel a little guilty doing a pull request because pull request is like, hey, open source developer, debug my stuff for me. But they value contributions too. So okay, I think that looks pretty good. So let's see. Let's look through this very quickly and see if there's anything that jumps out at me in terms of other kinds of content. Let's get rid of that extra new line. Other kinds of content that would make sense to embed. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. I mean, maybe the PDFs, but I think that requires extensions to work correctly, which they just apparently don't right now. So, meh. I should make a note of that too. Arweave file ext's broken. I should comment too, in case with all that stuff, the way it's working is there's a gateway that sits in front of Arweave, and it's actually the thing serving up the content. The content in Arweave would be just fine, but there's some machinery in front of it that's deciding, how it comes back over HTTP, and that's the part that something might be a little broken. So, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and clean this stuff up. All right, so what does this diff look like? It should be pretty minor, I would think. So you have the specifying the default gateway. I guess the nice thing about that dev in there is we know that this is basically working as we intended. The one that's in the config was overriding the default. Guess we haven't tested the default yet. We have a little time, so let's go ahead and do that. First, I'm gonna go. Let's go do this. So let's go to settings, editor, advanced. No, editor is what we want. Edit the config. So I'm going to change it to dev. Make sure that that still applies. Oops. All right, so this ends up being dev. Yep, that looks fine. Now let's go to settings, editor, and we're just going to comment that line out. So we're currently using dev, so it should switch to the default once we comment that out. Okay, now go back to this. Okay, yeah, and our image starts working, so we should be pretty confident this is doing what we want. Yeah, so default works. Okay. Good. Yeah, so a little helper there to fetch that out of the config. Then in here, we just have a little bit of transformation, and we're applying it to images, and then we're applying it to, oh, let's get rid of that. Yeah, so not bad. Pretty minor change. The real issues here were just figuring out where to make these changes, and development environment stuff, usual kind of silliness and making dumb mistakes like having that dev in the config, not realizing it for a bit, but actual code changes end up being pretty minor. I guess one thing I could look at is tests. Source div tests. Suspicious. Oh, there we go. Test. Okay. Fixtures, front end, format, block test. So this is extract properties. They look a little light on the tests here to me, but maybe I'm not finding them. Model test. That may be just something I just ask in the pull request too. Extract test. Export. Block test. Text. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just ask in the pull request and see if there's some place I should be adding tests. Looks a little light on tests. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just ask about that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just wrap up here. So pretty happy with that. I mean, these are the key things I personally want. I want to be able to link to stuff, and then I want to be able to embed images. I think in a future stream, there's a kind of interesting, I don't know what to call it, platform that's being built around Arweave and some other blockchains called Koi, which is about tracking attention. And it's really just a way for you to mint NFTs and get paid for attention. I don't have a evaluation of it one way. I just think it's an interesting project. But one thing that you could do is like mint things on Koi and embed them in your logseek notes or whatever tool you happen to use. I think that's interesting. I might explore that a bit on future streams. I could imagine potentially having like a Koi plugin for logseek too. But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on that as a thing, but it's interesting for sure. And it's interesting to see what kinds of models people are experimenting with in this new space. And the nice thing about that is if I were to go down that path or someone else, all the content is still stored on Arweave. So if, Koi turns out to be a terrible thing, you're not stuck. Your content is still on Arweave and you could still reference it however you want. You don't have to go through Koi stuff. So yeah, I think I'll wrap up there. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I'll submit a pull request shortly and probably tweet out about that when I do. If you're following this, please don't harass logseek people about incorporating it. They're busy and this may not be their top priority. But I'll make the pull request and we'll see where it goes. And with that, I'll wrap up. And no stream next week because Thanksgiving holiday, but I intend to be back the week after that. And I don't know what we'll do at that point. Could be smart contract stuff, could be something else. It just depends on where things go in the meantime. But with that, I will sign off. And thanks for joining and see you in a couple weeks.